Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is get behind here, behind the handle here, there's a little hole, and I'm going to stick the screw in there and it's going to push this little cover off. So watch, get the screw behind there. You can see, there you go, pop that bad boy out, popped it the rest of the way out, set it to the side. There's a screw there and a screw back there. So I'm going to also pop off this guy. And the next thing you do, you're going to pop off this guy here because there's going to be some more screws under there. So I'm going to take my little pry tool here. You can use a screwdriver, but that's going to end up scratching it up. I would recommend using the proper tool, like this, and just put it in between there. Pops open, get it off, and then there's some more screws here. There's like 4 screws here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my drill and undo all these screws, and then I'll show you the rest.
Screw right here. Screw right here. These screws also. These are all the same length except for the one long end. Alright, looks like that's all of them except for one way down here, which I will need an extension for. So that one's out, it's still floppy. And then that's all the screws. I'm just going to go ahead and double check. There's one more down there actually.
So this guy pops off too, obviously. There's just the 4 screws holding on that, obviously the one up top too. So I'm going to set that to the side. And there's no other screws left here, so I'm going to go ahead and take this guy out, unplug the clip here, you just press right here. Alright. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and pull the panel off. Actually, nope, still got to pop off this tweeter cover here, so actually I'll just leave it flopping. And then now I can just pull on the panel here. There's no screws around the bottom, it's all clips from here. And I just pull it up with it. Okay, so now I'm just looking at the panel here behind it. I'm going to pull out the lock, or the lock switch here, and then I'm going to unplug the, actually this one's the lock switch, the other one was the window switch, sorry. Unplug the lock switch here, then there's also the cable right here. So I'm just going to pop that out. With these guys you got to be real careful though, they like to break, so just be gentle with it. Pop that out. And the panel's off. And then right here, I went ahead and peeled back the door plastic here. And you can see the actuator kinda right back there. There's just a couple of screws holding it, I think about 3 of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove those. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna film that because it's not exactly an easy spot to get to as it is, but I'll show you. Alright, so it's kind of hard to see exactly what I'm talking about in there because I'm not going to be able to get the camera in there. I can take a couple pictures, that's about it. It's basically 2 screws, so one up top here and one down at the bottom here. I was having some issues with these stripping, so be really careful because it's not an easy spot for these to get to. What I ended up doing with the top one just now is putting a screwdriver on it and then tapping it with a screwdriver because it's, I'm assuming because it's just been in there forever, it's never been changed, so I give it a few taps like this, and then make sure the screwdriver fits really nice and tight. And then it starts coming off. I was getting no movement and the heads were stripping until I started tapping it with the hammer. So that's just a tip there, hopefully it helps, because if you strip this, you're, I mean I'm sure there's a way still to do it, but you get, it's kind of a fisting. Alright, so I got that one off. Okay. Alright, so I got the thing loose in there. It's just kind of flopping now, so it looks like the last part that's hanging out is the part that goes to the rod. So I'm just looking at how to get that off at the moment, and then I'm gonna pop that bad boy off. Alright, so I got the old one out. Unfortunately, there wasn't much of a strategy to it. I kind of just pulled backwards on it, and it popped off. The little green guy, I'm sure, was what was holding me up, so I'm going to see if hopefully I can slide the new one back into the same spot. I can't really see back there, so I'm kind of just going to use my hands to feel that. Needless to say, you're going to want to go ahead and look at these and make sure they line up. This is a cheap eBay replacement. It's only like $8, so it's not exactly identical, but the connectors are the same, dimensions are the same, and everything, so it'll work. All right, just a real quick way. I mean, it's obviously already out, so you already, may as well replace it. But to test this, I mean, there's obviously proper ways to test with a multimeter and everything like that, but by the time you get this off, it's not that hard to take all the way out. So essentially, you just plug this in, press lock or unlock on your remote or on the keyless entry. You don't feel anything on this thing. You don't feel it clicking or nothing. But then if I plug in the new one here, I go ahead, press lock. You can hear the thing actually working. So you can, see that it's actually doing something. So there you go. Alright, so I got the thing in there. Kind of just shoved it back in there until it felt like it was right in place. And then I put one screw in on the top. So now I'm going to go ahead and close the door and test out the locks. So I'm not sure if you can even see it. I'm going to press lock, unlock. Alright, so it's working again. So now I can go ahead and button it up. But one thing I am going to do, I'm going to run to the hardware store, get myself some new screws, because these guys are, it's not focusing. These guys are stripped in the tip, and I don't want to leave this in there in case I have to use the take this back out, because I did buy a cheapo. So yeah, I'm gonna go to the hardware store and replace these with something a little bit not stripped out. All right, so I got the bad boy in. Actually went and got new screws, so you can see one there, one there. Those two silver ones, those are the only two screws you need to remove. Obviously you need to remove these clips too. But I got them screwed in. It's nice and tight, not going anywhere. I just went to the hardware store and matched it up to something they had there. It was like an M3 by 0.5, I believe, something along those lines. You'll want to make sure once you get there, but I was able to match it up. So these two screws fit fine. I got a couple washers with them, and it's nice and solid, so I'm pretty much good to go ahead and put this back together. I'm gonna go ahead and close the door, test the locks again, but it should be fine. Alright, and sometimes these little clips like to stay behind. They're supposed to stay on the door panel when you pop it off, but sometimes they'll like to stay behind, so you just get the pry bar. Hopefully you got one that's a little stiffer than this one. This one's a little bit flimsy, but you get the idea. You want to use something like this so you don't damage it. If you start jabbing at it with a screwdriver, it's a good chance you're going to break. So essentially just get behind there with these, and then, like that. All there is to it. Alright, so just go ahead and put these on here. It's not actually a whole lot to this, but you can see they just slide right in there. Looks like unfortunately this one broke, so that guy's not going back on. That one there. And the one right there. And now we go ahead and put the door back. Alright, so to reattach it, first thing I'm going to do, get this bad mamma jamma out. Can't really see it. Alright, then we pop it back into here. Once you hear the click, you're good. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this guy back in here. It's very important, make sure you pop the tweeter back out if you left it flopping like I did lazily. And then the window switch down the bottom. And yeah. Alright, first thing you do is over here is get this lock right through the orifice here. Oh yeah. Alright, get in there. Then you slide the door pin has a lip on it, so you're gonna pop that over and down. And then once you can see that it's good on the edges here, these will line up right there with the holes. And you just kind of start smacking it in, and it'll clip in. Alright, so now the clips are all in, so go ahead and get this stuff back. Alright, and then to reassemble all the rest of the stuff, kind of got to go in reverse order. Similarly, it's not exactly, so I'm going to go ahead and put this guy back in here. You kind of got to finagle it so it goes up into the little clips thing there. And that's so it sits nice. And then you grab this guy.
This guy kind of just flops like that. And it all kind of goes together there, so I'm going to put a couple of these little short screws in first. Obviously, you don't have to use a drill, you can use hand tools for this, but I like the drill because it's faster. Alright, and then I've got the longer ones here.
Alright, and the last screw I forgot to show in the last frame was this guy here. So basically the three big ones are going to be the long one goes in here, one of the long ones, the other one goes down in here, and the third long one goes down there. The rest of the short ones, all basically the same size. Kind of got to finagle it a little bit to get all the clips to line up, otherwise you're going to break stuff. There we go. Make sure it's nice and flush. Alright, so on the bottom, you kind of got to line these up here with slits here. It's kind of hard to see them, but right here and right here. So you got to line these bad boys up with that. So it's admittedly kind of hard. Alright, there we go. And then the other part just clips right in. So we start at the top. And there we go. We're all done. Alright, now I'm inside the car. I'm just going to verify it still works. And